For today's video, we're going to make these Nathan's thick sliced battered onion rings in the air fryer. And I'm using a Cook's Essentials air fryer. I always start with the cooking instructions on the package, which says oven 425, lay them flat, a full bag 12 to 14 minutes, a half bag 10 to 12. So we're not going to make this whole bag. We're going to look at these half bag instructions. And when I'm making something breaded like this, I always split up my cooking times. So we're going to do part of the cooking time at a lower temperature, in fact most of it at a lower temperature, and then we're going to turn the temperature all the way up to 400 to finish off, and that will give us a much crispier finish to the onion ring. I also have found with onion rings that you do need to use a little bit more oil with them than any sort of French fry or anything like that. And using a little bit of oil in your air fryer is not a terrible thing. I know people are under the impression that just because you're using an air fryer means you don't use any oil at all, and that's really not the case. I'll put it this way. You don't have to if you don't want to. That is perfectly fine. But I find for different products, some of them are better with a little bit of added oil. And when you get the spray bottles, a full spray is only a quarter of a teaspoon, so you're not adding that much. You also want to make sure that if you're going to use oil in your air fryer, you use one that is rated for high heat. And I use peanut oil. It's a nice flavor and it has what they call a high smoke point. That means it has to be really, really hot before that oil starts smoking. So that's what you want to use in an air fryer. I wouldn't recommend butter because butter, I mean, you put it on heat, it starts smoking right away. You got to be so careful. So butter is not really your best medium to use in an air fryer. The first thing is to remove the fry basket. And I've gotten so I like to line the basket. And I use parchment paper. And I just crumple it up. And that helps it to lay flat. So I'm going to line the bottom with the parchment. And then I'm just going to cook a few of these onion rings. Now they recommend that you don't overlap these, but if I follow that instruction with this little tiny air fryer, I won't have any onion rings at all. So anyway, we're gonna put a little bit extra in. It is better if things are not touching, but, and then I'm just gonna spritz them. I don't know if it's the type of breading or what it is with these, but I just find an onion ring really needs a little more help in the air fryer. There they are, so you can see they're overlapping a little bit, but otherwise I just wouldn't be able to get anything into this basket. And we turn it on. We're going to come up to 380, and then we're going to come down to like 6 minutes. Okay, that's the end of part one, and these actually look pretty good. I'm gonna give them just another little spritz. And then we'll put it back. We'll go up to 400, and we'll finish them off, we'll say 3 minutes. These smell amazing, and they look beautiful. So let's see what we've got here. They're brown and crispy and they look so good. So let's put them on the plate and see what we have. Here's our finished onion rings, and they are amazing. I did wind up on a couple of them. They were just a little bit mushy on the underside, so I flipped them over and I cooked them another 2 minutes on high at the 400, and they're all perfect right now. They're so hot. Let's try one from the back. It's had a few minutes to cool off, and I've been using ranch for everything recently. But you could use whatever your favorite sauce is. Let's see how crunchy they are. They're very crunchy. They're delicious. And even though we spritzed them very lightly with oil, it's nothing like the oil you would have if you went to the restaurant. Okay, that's my trick for making onion rings at home in the air fryer. I think it's super easy. They're really good, and I think you're going to enjoy them if you make them yourself. That's today's video. I sure appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.